my mission. Get as many Kingsman the Secret Service interviews as I can on a very crowded red carpet. The action sequences in this movie are spectacular. Were they complicated to shoot?
They were. They were shot the different sequences were shot in different styles and different ways. The big sequence, so it was unusual to shoot that way, whether it's a fight or not. I mean, films are made with intercutting and cutaways and close up on a hand and the other guy looking back. That didn't have any of that. It was like a piece of live theatre. And the camera operator had a handheld. He had to be part of the choreography, and so we all I had to train so I could do the moves, and then I had to remember them, because if you're on your left foot instead of your right, there's a collision. But it was exhilarating. I mean, just from the point of view of teamwork and being fitter than I was when I was 20.
With the film, who's your favorite character? Who do you think transitioned the best to the big screen?
Oh wow, that's so difficult to say. I mean, they all are just the characters I would love them to be. I mean, I think there are some great actors on this. I mean, you couldn't even list them, but I think Taron Egerton, who plays young Eggsy, a virtual unknown, he holds his own so well amongst these superstars, and he makes it really believable that he could come from the streets and end up being this really suave secret agent. So I really, really enjoyed his part in it.
Dave Gibbons said you were his favorite character come to life in the movie.
Did he?
Yes, how did you like playing Eggsy?
I love playing Eggsy. I think Eggsy is in some ways the most three-dimensional of all the characters in the film, and was very, very, very easy to bring to life. And that's a lovely thing of Dave Gibbons to say. I'm going to thank him for that when I see him shortly.
Now, you said this was a fun movie, but it also gets quite serious at points.
Sure.
Why do you think it was important for this movie to go there?
Because I think, if you don't have an element of seriousness in something that's about, world-ending conspiracies, there's no rug to pull out from under people, right? So you it's sort of a bit empty. So I suppose that's why.
I like that. That's a good way to describe the movie. So you're putting women on the board with super spies.
Yes, I am.
How is it to be a part of this team?
Incredibly exciting. I think it's rare to get a script where the girl is a girl and a woman in her own right, and she doesn't kind of change to the whims of the men, and she's not an accessory. She's kick-ass in her own right.
I liked it because you also weren't like a strong feminazi or anything.
No, totally.
So what kind of line were you trying to walk with the character?
I wanted to keep her in some ways fairly neutral. I think she crosses a lot of boundaries between her class and her sex, and to see her as a human, as she would want. A spy has to be subtle, and they're not characteristics that are specific to one sex.
How did you take this old school idea of dressing up and make it seem so modern?
Well, the story's about British elite spies, so from the outset, style is written into this story. And their base of operation is a Savile Row tailor shop, so tailoring is at the center of our narrative. So it's really building on this great, history of British spy movies, the British spy style, as well as Savile Row and the history behind Savile Row. So it's kind of in the story.
Do you think people have forgotten how important it is to have a well-tailored suit?
Yeah, I don't know if they've forgotten. I think a lot of people don't know, and so that's part of that's part of the exciting part of this movie, especially because we also have a collection on Mr. Porter that it's kind of costume collections from the movie. So you can go and find your Kingsman suit on Mr. Porter.
Wow.